What's up, YouTube? You know what it is. It's been 5 long weeks, but we are back. 13 Minutes Volume 4 is here. We have a really dope guest for this season premiere. Ladies and gentlemen, Virginia's own professional ass whooper, Alan A-Train Stephenson. What's up, bro? How's it fucking going?
It's going good. I'm just out running errands right now and doing things while I got time on the weekend before I got to go back to work on Monday. Sucks.
So you got like a full schedule, huh?
Super. I don't know if anyone has a busier schedule than me. I'm telling you.
None of these fucking fighters have a busier schedule. Yeah, tell them.
Any fighter that can train full time, you are a lucky son of a bitch.
How many hours a week do you train?
Right now, to be honest, not a lot, because, I got this job at the power plant, and
like Homer Simpson.
Yeah, it's at a nuclear power plant. Yeah, I got to leave my house at 3:30 in the morning, leaving it, and I got to be at work at 5:30 in the morning. I'm there for 10 hours. We do 4 10s, sometimes 5 10s, and then it's an hour and a half, hour and 40-minute drive back home. So that really wears down. I'm just down on you, mentally and physically, and on your car and all that stuff. But it pays good. That's like the only reason I'm doing it.
I understand completely. So basically, that is your training for you. That is your fight training right now, huh?
Yeah,
I your fight training.
Yeah, well, I am getting in the gym. I do have a title fight coming up.
I want to ask about that. When is that fight coming up? When is it?
It's for XFP. It's going to be in Smithfield, North Carolina on August 24th.
August 24th? Who are you fighting?
I can't really pronounce his name. Alexa or something. He's like
Russian guy. You're fighting Amazon.
Yes.
Amazon's Alexa.
I keep calling him Alexa, but it's like Alexia or something. I tune in.
How do you feel about this guy?
I think I should run through the guy, to be honest. He's a nice guy and all, but he's lacking a big skill set. And even that I'm not training a whole lot, I still think I should run through him. I should probably finish him in the first round.
So it's just natural skill at this point.
Yeah, it's really I just need to keep freshen up on what I know and keep my cardio up, and that's really it.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Now that I'm working at this power plant, I had a Shogun fights this night. I got offered the 170 title for that, and I had to turn it down, which just really sucked, because.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and if any young fighters watch this, look, if you cannot prepare for a fight, do not take it. Not every opportunity is a good opportunity. I'm telling you.
It's good advice.
It is. I used to, when I first started out as a pro, I try to fight all the hardest guys I can find, really, thinking you'll get noticed faster that way, and that's not the case. I suffered my first knockout in my third pro fight, and it messed with me bad. I lost a lot in a row. I was on a 5-fight losing streak, and it would suck because I would lose the guys that I'm not supposed to lose to, all because of the mental part of it. I'll be afraid of getting knocked out or waiting for, you know what I'm saying? Like, too afraid to lose. So when people say, it's more mental than physical, it really is. Yes, you got to be physical. Obviously, you got to know stuff, but
yeah, gotta know stuff.
Your biggest enemy is your own self. I'm telling you, because you can talk yourself down and hype yourself out, or psych yourself out, and it can ruin everything. But I've won my last a few fights. I mean, the guys really, the record. I mean, they were. A lot of people look at people's records and think that say someone's got a bad record. That actually doesn't mean that they suck.
Are you saying that you have a bad record?
My record's even now. It's
what is it?
My record is 5-5.
5-5. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's very respectable, to be honest with you.
I mean, thanks. I mean, I was 2-5.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I was 2-5. I won my first 2 pro fights against 2 very good guys, and then I got knocked out. And it was, the guy's good. He's kind of an asshole. He missed weight, but whatever. He missed weight by like 7 pounds. But I went all the way up to CFFC in Pennsylvania.
So this is a guy that probably weighed fucking 30 pounds more than you when he fought you, huh? This is a guy that probably weighed 30 pounds more than you when he fought you, huh?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
But he's fighting on the Contender Series now. He finally moved up in weight class. But I mean, there's, to be completely honest, out of my 5 losses, I think 2 of those guys might still beat me today, or even then they were probably the better fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
to be completely honest. And 3 of those guys that I should have, if I wasn't a dumbass and a mental case, I should have won those ones. But I'll let
I've psyched myself out plenty of times for plenty of things. I get it.
Yeah. But
you fight MMA and boxing, don't you? You fight professional
I've done
and MMA, huh?
I have done 3 pro boxing, and I have unfortunately lost all 3 of those. But, I guess to pat myself in the back, all 3 of those guys were extremely experienced pro boxers. In the first 2 guys, I was nervous because, that's for wearing a 10-ounce glove. I was like, these guys are going to knock me the fuck out. I was nervous as hell. And my first pro boxing, literally the week before, like exactly a week before, I had my MMA fight at 155, and I won. And then that following Friday, I got asked to do a boxing. I was like, all right. And all my fights I lost. My boxing I lost by decision. But it builds your confidence up because a lot of the crowd, everyone's saying how I did good, or and the last guy I lost to, we went 8 rounds, and he was like, his record was like 33-8 or something. And
hey, you get in there regardless, man. It's crazy. Those were all good fights. I've seen I think at least 2 of your boxing fights, and they were both good.
Yeah, it's just sometimes I'm not pulling the trigger, or maybe I'm not training as hard as I need to, because you do get tired. Boxing cardio is, I'm telling you, it's different than MMA cardio, for sure.
Okay. So would you rather fight with the 4-ounce gloves then? Do you prefer that to boxing?
Yeah. I've been doing MMA a lot longer. Obviously, I'd rather get hit with a boxing glove, but either way, you can get knocked the hell out with a 10-ounce glove or a 4-ounce glove.
Either way, you can get knocked the hell out.
Yes, that's right. But I enjoy it now that I have a kid now, and that definitely interferes with training a lot. But I wouldn't change it for anything. A lot of these younger fighters. I was the younger fighter. If you're young and you don't have any kids or anything like that, you don't have debt, don't fall into the debt trap. Get yourself into a good gym that you're not learning dumbass shit that ain't gonna work. Okay. Make sure you're training situational stuff. If you got an opponent, try to find film on him. Your training partner should be trying to mimic that guy. even if that means you get to hit your training partner more than they used to get hit, they should take that for you. That's what if anyone from my gym is fighting someone, I'll try to, copy the guy that he's fighting. I'll tell so-and-so, let's say Corey Champion, I'll be like, look, don't be sitting there nailing on me. I usually don't fight this style, but I try to, give them the best look they can,
I understand completely. I think that the training is really important, and the gym you go to definitely is obviously the very first start of the training process. You have to find a good gym. I get it completely. What weight do you usually fight at?
I usually fight 155.
155?
Yeah, but since work and the kid and stuff, it's been 155 is not an easy cut for me. So I've been doing 170 fights.
How do you feel about that 155 versus 170?
Say that again.
How do you feel about fighting at 155 versus fighting at 170?
I mean, the weight cut's a lot easier at 170. That's for damn sure. But I'm not fighting guys that are 170 that are humongous either. I mean, they're cutting, from 180. If I fight 170, it's really guys that I feel like should be fighting 155. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do know what you mean. But they're just fighting some guys walk around weight instead of cutting weight.
Yeah. Some guys cut from 200 pounds or so to get to 170. I'm not fighting those big ass dudes. Because
there's no reason to. I know, and that's what I was saying earlier. I see how that works. These guys, especially if he missed weight by 7 pounds, how much do you think that fucker weighed when he actually fought you? You know what I mean? Jeez,
when I was in CFFC, I was in the cage, and that was actually my easiest weight cut to 155. I was fucking ready. I looked across the cage, and I see a big black back right there. I was like, who the fuck is that? I was like, why the fuck does he got his friend got his shirt off? And he turned around, this motherfucker looked like a superhero. I was like, oh my God, it's going to be a long night. Shit.
Oh my God, man. So besides being a professional fighter, it seems like you may also be a professional troll. I see that you like to troll a lot of mainstream fighters. If you could fight any one of them, who would it be? Who's the first? Who do you want to fight more than anyone else?
Gosh. In Virginia or just anywhere?
No, anywhere. Like any, I've seen you called out, who have you called out? Floyd Mayweather. I've seen you called out Artem Lobov.
Yes.
Who do you want to fight the most?
Well, I'd rather fight Mayweather because I would get paid more. But I think a bare knuckle fight between me and Artem would be, people think I'm crazy and he's tough. He is tough as hell. But I think that fight would be very interesting. I think my style against his, it would throw him off. So I would say fight between me and Artem, because Mayweather, he probably looks at me as a peasant if he's even seen me. I don't.
A peasant. No, I don't know.
That motherfucker's got so much. He could buy me. How much? That guy.
Like a hooker.
He's got some. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about street beefs. How did you get involved in that, and what's it like, fighting in street beefs?
Well, I've sparred at street beefs.
Yeah, sparred. Pardon my French.
Yes, we'll get to that because the Virginia Commission absolutely jumped down my throat about going over there. And it started, my buddy Chris had told me about it because I had a fight scheduled at 170 against Dusty Shaw in Northern Virginia 2 years ago. And I sold a lot of tickets, and this guy shows up just like fucked up on something. He just is fucked up and made up a bunch of lies. And basically, none of the commission wouldn't let him fight because he comes in there with a big story and stuff. And so that fight never happened. And someone told me, hey, take it to Street Beefs. I didn't know what they were. You can fight, you'll get a bunch of views, whatever. I was like, all right. And I went up there. In my hand, I already had torn ligaments in my right hand. Bad. But I didn't think Dusty was any good, so I didn't really need it. I eventually threw my right hand in that fight, and it really fucked it up. But, I beat him up, and then the commission told me not to go back. But I was arguing back and forth with them, saying, like, why? It's none of your business. I'm out here boxing, messing around with these guys, other than, with Dusty. He's like, you can't do that. It's not a gym. I said, I get hit way harder in the gym than I do at Street Beefs. I really go there to give those guys a different look. In the meanwhile, I'm getting a bunch of views on YouTube. Me and the guy Mighty Mouse, I have over 1 million views on our boxing match. And
yeah, you're like a viral star, man. I've seen it. I've seen how many views you get on some of these videos. It's incredible. You ought to tell them to fuck off, I guess, right?
I mean, they won't. I mean, I can't fight in Virginia again until I get a CT scan and an EEG scan.
So you can fight in other states, though.
I could, yes.
That's cool. But like Ohio, you want me to help you get a fight in Ohio?
I'll fight in Ohio as long as because I know anybody I'm up there I'm gonna fight is probably some badass fucking wrestler. So I need to be ready for that. I hate fighting wrestlers especially when they're just the wrestler. Because
I know. It sucks to watch too. I know what you mean because it makes the fight so one-sided. It's almost not even like.
It's boring, because my striking can be 1,000,000 times better in my, but I'm not knocking. Wrestling that's a good sport, and those guys
are. Of course, man. Of course, yeah. I'm not knocking it either, but I get what you're saying though. When it's
they're
real
just doing everything to get on you and grab you and wrestle fuck you basically sometimes. And
wrestle fuck. That's a new one. I've never wrestle fuck.
Is
that how your ears get like that from getting wrestle fucked?
I got wrestle fucked in Pennsylvania. Not Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Morgantown. I fought a guy. He's very good. He's like 8-1 as a pro, or 9-2 or something. He's very good. He was strong as fuck in that fight. I was prepared for that fight and everything, and I ate some sushi at some place, and I threw up. I got food poisoning. I was throwing up, and I felt good afterwards until I started fighting. Like, that shit shot my cardio at the damn door. So
fucking sushi, man. You got to remember, no sushi.
Yeah, no, that's what everyone told me. That's what everyone told me when I told me that you don't eat sushi in West Virginia. I was like, you fucking right about that. You are right about that.
How do you become a professional fighter? Is that like a difficult process? Tell me how you make your...
at least in Virginia, I mean, I don't think you need any. Really, all you need to do is go to the commission, and I mean, they're going to want to see if you have any experience. They might want your coach to write a letter or something, and once they get that, then basically you pay a little bit of money and you get licensed. They give you your pro license. That's really all it is.
Do you have to get licensed separately for boxing and for mixed martial arts fights? Do you have to get 2 different licenses?
Yeah. But, you can't be pro MMA and fight amateur boxing, though.
Okay.
Yeah, once you're pro, then you're pro everything.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
But
what's that?
But it is interesting though. But you can be a fucking black belt and compete in the highest level of grappling and still be an amateur MMA fighter though.
That's interesting. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, because if you were always competing in or just training some sort of anything around the world, you never really competed not professionally, but on a stage. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Then you could be so good and no one just ever heard of you. No one ever saw you.
It's true. That is so true.
What gets you hyped for a fight?
What gets me hype? Putting all of the training hours and stuff, and everyone, I got a lot of fans. You know, all of them look up to me. They, you know, wish me luck before a fight, and I know they're all anxious to see if I had won or not. If they couldn't make it out, if I make a Facebook post saying I won or not. Just that gets me. You know, that people, you know, look up to me and, you know, want me to do good. That really gets me hyped, and, you know, being able to show to people that I'm not some slouch, that I can kick your fucking ass. You know, I'm saying, like,
Kick your fucking ass, hell yeah.
I can't kick everyone's ass. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would fucking destroy me.
Same. Do you remember your first fight? Do you remember your very first fight ever, your first amateur fight?
Yeah, I lost in 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh, man, what happened? How did you lose in 30 seconds?
I went in there as just a boxer, and this is just boxing from what my buddy had taught me. I never went to any boxing gym, and never really ever even grappled. I heard about the event. I just signed up for that shit, and went in there at a fat 185 and fought a guy. We were going, and I hit him a little bit. He hit me once, and I fell, but it wasn't like I just, my footing was off, and I got up. And then I think for me getting up, he grabbed me, and he's about to throw a bunch of knees, and I put my hands out to stop his knees, and then there was my neck, and he got me in the tightest fucking guillotine in the world, and I tapped.
Oh, man. Well,
Yeah.
I don't blame you. You don't want to have to take a nap because someone's trying to make you take a nap.
Yeah, and I was like,
take a nap on your own time.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how much you think how much you don't know. You know, when you first start off, you think you know everything, but you don't know shit.
Of course, yeah, of course. I get what you mean. It definitely. I feel like the older I get, that's how I feel about life. That's why I say I know what you mean. Like, I don't know anything in life, I feel.
I mean, I was hyped. I was ready. I wasn't scared of the guy or anything. And but then, I mean, once you put that choke on, I was defenseless. I couldn't do nothing. I didn't know how to do anything. But yeah.
Do you like UFC better or Bellator?
I used to like Bellator better, but I think I like UFC more. I hate that, you know, the UFC is kind of turning into the WWF.
Yeah, you're fucking telling me, man. You are telling me.
God, I mean, there's so many people. I know people off the top of my head right now in Virginia that deserve a shot in the UFC, and I'm not even. It doesn't even need to be on fucking TV. It can be UFC Fight Pass. It could be something that's just on the internet. That, you know, that are probably never going to be seen because they're not shit talkers or whatever. You know, they just go out there and they fucking kick ass. But I don't know if that's what Dana White wants anymore.
I don't know what that dude wants. Obviously, he just wants fucking money. I don't really think he cares. Excuse me, man. Oh my god. I don't think he cares about the sport at all anymore. I'm not sure. It's very confusing to see all of these money fights, and they all go the way you think they're gonna go. And
he's got so much money now. He don't give a fuck. I mean, the UFC can be sold, and you know he's never gonna have to work a day in his life, even if he lived to 1,000 years old.
He tweeted at me once when I still watched UFC all the time, and I told him that a fight card sucked, and he said, "Don't watch it then."
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I don't know. He's a fucking asshole. Well, so do you have any words for Alexis or Alexi for your next fight? What do you have to say to your opponent?
Alexis Saitunin. His last name's Saitunin. I think everyone just calls him Saitunin.
What do you got to say to Saitunin for this next fight?
What I got to say? Well, Saitunin, I hope you're ready. There's really absolutely nothing you can do from now until the fight that's going to change the outcome of you losing the fight. No matter how many miles you run, how many push-ups or burpees or sparring sessions you do, all I got to do is make weight, and then I'll determine your fate.
Yo!